powerful session today, last day of the Freedom Formula. And I want to start with a powerful quote from Wayne Dyer. Give me 1 second. Hi, everybody. Let me see. Am I live on YouTube? Yes, I am. Okay. Okay. So happy to see you, Rahul, and see all the other names here. Can you hear me well? Perfect. Let me see who else is here. Welcome, Betty, Mohsen. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to message you actually because I knew that you're going to join, but I didn't see you the last 2 days. Nympha, welcome. Sophia, welcome, welcome. So I like that this is a smaller, more intimate group. And the reason why is this is the first time I'm actually helping and talking to people who are in a 9 to 5 and they want to start business. Before this event, all that I always offered was targeted towards business owners who are already in business, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, who already have a business and they just wanted to, maybe they were stuck, maybe they were burnt out, anything like that. And I had an intuition to talk to employees, to talk to people who have a 9 to 5 job because I was there and I cannot even imagine living that life anymore. Again, in every recording, every live, I mentioned that it is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. I just was not happy, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So welcome to day 3 of the Freedom Formula from Netherlands. Wow, beautiful. I'm actually going somewhere around there soon, next week. You guys, if you follow me on social media, you're going to see where I'm going. And by the way, I'm on almost all social media platforms except TikTok. And I'm going for a 10 days trip. Not going to say where, because to be honest, because internet is a scary place and I've had a few things. So I'm not going to say exactly where I am. And when I leave, then I will post stuff. But it's going to be an amazing 10 days trip, 3 days coaches training from Proctor Gallagher, Bob Proctor Institute that we're going to all go 3 days, full days mindset training. And I'm sure I'm going to come out of it with a bigger, better paradigm. And then I decided to stay 7 days longer to just explore that area of the world that I've never been. Yes, I wish to meet you in person too. You never know. Sometime, hopefully, sometime soon. So let's start with an amazing, I love Wayne Dyer. Who knows Wayne Dyer? Nice to see your face, Nympha. Wayne Dyer, before actually getting into any Bob Proctor stuff, I remember I used to read Wayne Dyer translated books in Farsi when I was living in Iran back home. And you know, it's interesting when you read something, you only absorb to the level of your vibration and your consciousness. So I was young, it was fascinating, but my understanding of his work was not even near to where it is today. Today, I fully, fully understand his work because of Bob's work and all the work that I have done. So he says, it is my long held strong belief and knowing that you are never given the power to dream without the equivalent power to manifest that dream. How powerful is that? That's what I was sharing with you day one, that your dream, your desire, that goal, remember we talked about C-type goal? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back, watch the replay of day one. That C-type goal, that dream, that fantasy, that you have it somewhere in the back of your mind. it would not be possible for you to have that dream and desire in your mind, in your heart, in your consciousness, without having the power to manifest your dream. You do have everything that you need to manifest your dream. Now, parallel to that, you do have bunch of BS limiting beliefs that's been given to you. And that's what is stopping you. And that is what I want to help you to remove. So today is the last day. I always feel like it's not enough time with you guys, and I love it. I love to stay with you longer. Hopefully you guys feel the same. Hopefully you feel like there's something here. I can help you, I can guide you, I can serve you. And if you feel the same, you should book your Zoom call with me. So most of you have done actually booked your Zoom call. I have 2 calls today with 2 of you. I have some calls tomorrow. There are a lot of people who are catching the recordings, by the way, and they have booked their calls. If you want to know how to continue this journey, because obviously there is not much of transformation that can happen in only 3 days, 1 hour a day. So if you're curious to know how to continue your journey, how to learn from Bob Proctor, what is this program about, please just book your Zoom call and let's have a conversation. I'm going to put the link to my calendar again in the chat box. And if you're catching the recording, the link is on that same page and it says book your call, book a consultation call or something like that. And we're going to talk about your journey. We're going to talk about if this course is going to be of benefit to you or not. And as a reminder for each and every one of you who decide to join Bob Proctor's program, which is called Thinking into Results, that's a program that changed my life and that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives. There are a lot of testimonials. I'll email you later, maybe today or tomorrow. If you guys decide to join by the end of this Sunday, by Sunday night, as a bonus, you will have 9 months coaching with me instead of 6 months, because the program originally is 6 months. So I'm going to coach you through the program for 6 months, and then I'm going to stay with you for 3 extra months, making sure you are getting the results, making sure, trying to find out what are your limiting beliefs, what are your blocks, and trying to help you for 9 months instead of 6 months. Why do I do that? I give bonuses usually to people who make decisions quickly. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, talked about decision making and how successful people, and this is one of the topics of today, successful people make decisions fast and they don't change them often. They stick with the decision. If they know something is good for them, for their future, for their personal growth, they make a decision, they jump in, and they don't quit as soon as they see the first sign of difficulty. One of the examples is Ford. In Think and Grow Rich book, Napoleon Hill talks about Ford. So Ford comes up with this idea, make a decision to do something in his when he was inventing the car, Ford, and he came up with some idea, some new decision, and all the engineers in his team said this is not a good idea. He didn't quit. He stuck with the decision week after week and month after month, although everything seemed to be against him, and he got to the result. And that was, they said that was one of his best decisions that he made, and he stayed with that decision. What do failures do when it comes to decision making? They take forever to make a decision. There are people who are thinking to change their lives, believe it or not, for a decade. Like, I'm not shaming or guilting. I just want to shake these people and say, wake up. Life is short. You wanted that business, you wanted to do that thing, you wanted to get that promotion, get to that higher level of your career 10 years ago, and you're still wishing and hoping. So failure make decisions very, very slow. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Do not do that. If you feel something resonates with you within your heart, make a decision fast. The universe always, always, always supports you. I cannot tell you how many times I have invested in my personal development, coaching, hiring different things, joining different programs, spending thousands of dollars. And yes, it is always scary. It is always, there's always a what if, the back of the mind, what if, but I don't remember any, even once, that my money didn't come back to me at least twofold. It always comes back. When you invest in yourself, when you invest in your mind, you always get the money back. So that's why I am giving this bonus 9 months coaching instead of 6 months to people who make a decision fast. And fast to me is right now, today. But I'm giving you some time till the end of this week, end of Sunday, because I want you to be successful. And success starts from making a decision. We talked about it yesterday. You make a decision first, and then the universe delivers. You know what is the mistake people make? Majority of people. That's what Bob says. Bob says people, it's like they sit in front of a fireplace and they say, give me heat, give me fire, and then I give you wood. People want to have safety and security of a big bank balance so that they go out and invest in themselves. It never works this way. It is the other way around. You have to first take the action, make the bold decision, take the first step, even if it is scary. And that's how you tap into a higher level of vibration, even though if it's scary, and we're going to talk about fear today. And because of your decision, the universe is going to deliver you. The universe is going to bring you people, connection, resources, opportunities that you were not aware of when you were on a lower level of vibration. What is lower level of vibration here that I'm talking about? Is when you are afraid, when you are scared, and you don't invest in yourself. You wait forever. You wait for something outside to change so that you can change. The change always starts from within. Every successful person in history experience fear. Fear, being uncomfortable, is never going to go away. We have to learn how to make decisions when we are experiencing fear and move through that terror barrier. Bob calls it terror barrier. It's like a wall. It stops you from getting to your goal, and you have to learn how to walk through that wall. And this is one of the lessons in the Thinking into Results program. By the way, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. I've got a couple of questions from you guys, and I'm going to answer it towards the end of this call. And stay with me because today's session is really important. And if you're watching the recording, stay till the end. I'm going to cover a lot that is going to hopefully make a shift in your mind. Yes, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what successful people do. But the masses, majority of people who are not successful, they feel they are living in their comfort zone. So if you, this is a really good indication of knowing if you're on the right track or not. in terms of your life, your business, your finances, and everything else. If you feel that most of the time, most of your days, and most of your time, you are kind of comfortable, maybe not happy, maybe not satisfied, but kind of comfortable in your comfort zone, that's a sign that you are not only you're not going forward, you're actually going backwards. Because Bob said we are either expanding, growing, or disintegrating, dying. There is no such thing as staying still. People think that I am at the same place. No, you are declining. Your consciousness, your desire is declining. If you're not growing, you are declining, you're disintegrating, you're dying emotionally, mentally, intellectually. How do you know you're growing or disintegrating? Comfort. Are you comfortable every day? And by the way, put it in the chat, please. Do you feel that you live in your comfort zone most of the time? And there is no judgment here, absolutely no judgment, no shame. It's just about awareness and understanding. If you feel like you are beautiful, so you know now you have this awareness that you've been living in your comfort zone. Because one way of living is being in your comfort zone. And there is no growth in that. There is no satisfaction in that. There is no living your dream life in that. There is no luxury life. There is nothing in that. There is just comfort. Another way of living is to let go of that comfort, become uncomfortable, but it is worth it because you're going to get everything that you want in this life. You let go of the comfort, but instead you gain understanding, awareness, growth, prosperity, luxury life, tapping into your full potential, becoming who God wants you to be on this planet Earth. Living fulfilled, living satisfied, living joyful, waking up every morning, jumping out of bed. Now it's your choice. Which one do you want? Being comfortable and not really having the ultimate life that is already yours, not having your desire, or feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And by the way, you get used to the uncomfort. So at some point, you grow a thick skin and it becomes your norm. It becomes the way that you function. I love that feeling of now I'm at the point that I love that feeling of the butterfly in your stomach and like being a little bit shaky. I don't feel that anymore with the live launches. I used to with these live master classes, but because I've done them enough time, I don't feel that anymore. I feel that in different things when I'm in person, having these kind of like teachings and coachings and being on the stage. That feeling of maybe a little bit of sweat and anxiety, this, you have to grow this mindset that you love that. And you can, again, we talked about brainwashing yourself yesterday. You can brainwash yourself that I love being uncomfortable. Why? Because I know that my dream life is on that level, on that frequency. If I'm uncomfortable, means I'm on the right track. Is it uncomfortable to invest in yourself? Yes, because we never learned that. No one has told us you have to invest in yourself. But when you do that, you know that you're on the right track. Any questions so far? Put it in the chat, or I can unmute you. Actually, by the end of today, if we have enough time, we can have a hot seat. I can coach you if you're ready for that. We can have a little workshop together here. No, the other way around, Sarah. Feeling uncomfortable means you are growing, actually, because you are doing things that you're not used to. You're getting out of your habitual way of living. Feeling comfortable means you're living like yesterday and the year before. So you're comfortable, you're not growing. Growth comes with being uncomfortable. But what I was saying is that at some point, when you do enough uncomfortable things, you become used to being uncomfortable because you know that you are growing. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Rahul, let me unmute you. Tell me, my friend.
Hey, Helia. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is an excellent point that you brought up, Helia, because being uncomfortable is probably the only thing that stands in the way of you and your progress, and that's the only step that you can take to go towards progress. The best example that I have lived as a child was the fear of public speaking. So, just a quick story. When I was 5 years old, I got the opportunity to be on stage and recite a hymn. Hymn, as all of us know, is a perfectly by-hearted piece of prose or poetry. Doesn't require any rocket science, no practice, nothing. Just go there and reproduce what you know. When I went there in front of 50 people, most of whom I knew, I could not utter a word. I just stood there petrified. And understandably so, 5-year-old boy, but extreme fear of the stage. So I just stood there. I told my name and I walked off the stage. But that day really changed my life because my
Mm.
father, who was my biggest mentor, he sat me down for an hour long heart to heart conversation. He said, the only reason that this happens is because we fear everything in our head. It's all in our head. There is nothing in existence in reality. So if you go there, if you have something to share with people, share it out. The very fact that they are there, they want to listen to you.
Mhm.
So why worry about what's in your head? Just throw it out and share with people. Let them feel what you have to share, and that way you will overcome the fear of public speaking. And that day really changed my life because from that on, I said, okay, nothing doing. I'm not going to watch the faces of people, even if they are laughing or whatever. I'll just relay my message.
Beautiful. I love that. Such a good advice from your dad, by the way, at that young age. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, this is what fear does, and it's all an illusion. It's all in our head. Everybody is can you guys relate to that? It's everyone thinks what are other people are thinking about me. So everyone is concerned about themselves. So even the audience is concerned about what is this person next to me is thinking about me. So we shouldn't really be worried because everyone is thinking about themselves, not us. But that's just one part of fear. There's so many different fears that come up with different things. Fear of public speaking, fear of change. Fear of change. I was someone who really, the universe had to kick me at some point a couple of years ago because I did not want to change in my personal life, something personal, something that was not helping me. And I knew it, but it was so hard to change. It was so hard to, yeah, change, making a decision, going to a different direction. Let me know, by the way, in the chat. I mean, I asked this the first day. Some people were here, some people were not. So some of you are new here. Tell me in the chat if you are an employee, a 9 to 5, or self-employed or business owner. I want to know what to touch on more. Betty, I know, Rahul, but most of you I don't know. So put it in the chat, please. Okay, 9 to 5. Okay, love that, Nympha. Where are you from, by the way? And if anyone else has anything to share, let me know in the chat or raise your hand. I love to hear your voices, and it was so nice of Rahul to share. If you have any questions or you want to share anything, please let me know, and I would love to unmute you. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, cool. Awesome, beautiful. All right, so let's do a quick recap overview of this 3 days, the formula. So what is the freedom formula? By the way, uh, thanks, Sarah, for sharing. Is it 2 a.m. right now? Okay. It's okay. So and tell me, so thank you for sharing in the chat, and the rest of you, please share as well. Let me know if you're a 9 to 5 employee or business owner. And also one more thing, tell me in the chat, what is your goal? What do you want? What do you want? It can be clear, detailed. It can be just, I want to get out of 9 to 5 and have my own business, or I know exactly what I want to do, or whatever it is that you want to do. What is your goal? And while you're typing, I'm gonna recap and review this 3 day the Freedom Formula masterclass. Who wants to wake up in the morning without an alarm? And that doesn't mean like sleep till noon. You can wake up at 6 or 7, but without the stress of I have to wake up exactly at that time with an alarm. Do you like to wake up without an alarm? Do you like to work whatever day of the week and take time off whenever you want? Do you want to go on vacation whenever you want to go to wherever you want to go with business class flight, luxury 5-star hotels? Do you want to drive your favorite car? I love cars, so I talk about cars. I have a beautiful Range Rover that I love. I spent sometime a few months ago in Austin at the Fairmont Hotel, beautiful hotel. Everything that I'm sharing with you guys, I'm not saying that I'm not bragging. Please trust me, I'm not bragging. I'm not saying that to impress you. I am just giving you an awareness that it is possible for you as well. There's nothing special about me. If I can have my own business, my own life, my own schedule, wake up whenever I want to wake up, go to the gym whenever I want to go to the gym, go shopping in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, take Wednesday off if I want to, work 4 hours a day if I want to, travel to wherever I want to with business class to whatever hotel I want to. If I can do any of these things, you can do it too. This is what we teach at Proctor Gallagher Institute. This is what we teach to our clients. It is all about your mind. Thanks, Sarah. I get it. It's yeah, that sounds tough. So, do you want to do what you love to do instead of what you have to do? And can you accept this belief? Can you borrow this belief from me that it is 100% possible for you? Do you think maybe one day, I hope, I wish, or Can you develop this understanding and this awareness, even if you don't have it right now? Can you promise yourself that I am going to develop this belief, this faith, that it is 100% possible for me to live a life of freedom? This is the only way things can change. You have to believe it in your bones. You have to believe it in every cell of your body that you are deserving to live a life of freedom, freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of money, freedom in your mind. Yes. Thank you for your comments. So this is an ongoing work. You have to believe in your dream more than you believe in your reality right now. Your reality right now, I want you to write this down. This is really, really important if you get it. Your reality that you're experiencing right now, are you ready? Is a manifestation of the past. It does not even exist energetically. It is a residue of the past. Your reality, your bank account, your job, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, is a solid form of manifestation in a 3D world of your past vibration, thoughts, and belief system. As you change your vibration, thoughts, belief system today, your future is going to change very soon, very soon. Your fulfillment comes when you pay more attention and you focus more on your dream, your goal, more than your reality. One of the lessons in the Thinking into Results that we go over for 2 weeks teaches us how to ignore your 5 senses and go within. Because as long as you rely on your 5 senses, hear, smell, see, taste, touch, and you're being emotionally impacted by your current results, you're going to manifest more of that. That's why people live the same life year after year, because they are emotionally impacted by their 5 senses. So remember, your 5 senses is observing a reality that is actually in the past. It is a manifestation of the past. You don't need to get emotionally involved with your reality. You don't need to become sad. You don't need to be disappointed. You don't need to be stressed. What do you do instead? Lesson 1, day 1, you focus on your goal. You come up with a desire, burning desire. And the desire, by the way, might not be a burning desire at first. That's okay. That's what Napoleon Hill teaches. At first, we give fuel to our desire because it might be just an idea, right? You might be thinking right now, it would be great if one day I could quit my job or do this thing or get to that position or make that much money. It might be just a spark, just a tiny little idea, might not be a burning desire. So what do? It's your responsibility to think about it every day, to think about it every night, to visualize yourself. What I wonder, how would my life be if I lived like that? If that goal, if that idea was manifested, what would I be doing? Who would I be hanging out with? How does my life look like? What kind of impact am I making? And as you marinate yourself in that idea, as you think about it, as you give it more attention, more focus, energy goes where focus goes, energy flows where focus goes. Focus on your goal, give it more attention. At some point, the dynamic changes and your goal become this amazing burning desire, and that your desire gives you fuel now. Your desire becomes so big that no one can stop you anymore. That's how it works. First, you give attention, fuel, focus to your desire, and then your desire becomes your fuel. And yes, we're all deserving. A lot of time, the reason why we are not manifesting is because of some feeling, some sort of feeling of unworthiness, not being deserving, not feeling enough. Most people have that. That was something that I had to work on. And it usually comes from childhood, like everything else. So the very first day we talked about a goal, and I want you to write your goal in the chat if you have a goal, if it is clear or not, doesn't matter. When you keep thinking about it, it becomes more and more clear. And I gave you a formula on day one that you write down on a piece of paper every morning as soon as you wake up and every night before you go to sleep. I am so happy and grateful now that, and you write down your goal. And when you are writing it down, the key is in feeling it. So you really, really feel it. It has happened already. I am there already. You have to become delusional. You have to become illogical. Remember, we talked about it yesterday. Your logic is being controlled by your paradigm, by your belief system. I was listening to one of our lessons. By the way, I still study the same program that I'm going to teach you guys, the thinking into results, because this is something, by the way, you will have access to it for the rest of your life, that it keeps elevating me and my consciousness. So I was listening to lesson 3. Sandy Gallagher, president of the Proctor Gallagher, Bob Proctor company, was talking about she used to be a very successful lawyer before she joined Bob Proctor. Very successful lawyer, like merging banks and dealing with billions of dollars, not million, billions of dollars. And she said, for my whole life, I was told to be logical. And I thought, I know how to think, I know how the mind works. But when she learned Bob Proctor's teaching, she said, I never knew how the mind really works. And it was so hard for me as a lawyer to become illogical. I've had clients, like mostly, no offense to men, but men sometimes are more logical and more into their head than women, most of the time, not all of them. So it's really interesting to see when I coach my clients and they are so much in their head, and just know that you have to become illogical in order to dramatically change your life if this is something you want. How do you become illogical? Believe in your dream. What is your goal? What is your dream? What is that C-type goal we talked about day one? You have to become so delusional and illogical that every day you feel like you are living that life already. Your reality doesn't need to change for you to feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Actually, your reality is not going to change until and unless you feel the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. Do you get it? I want to read something powerful from Neville Goddard. It is the beginning and end of all creating. The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, until it fills the mind and crowds all other ideas out of consciousness. The secret is imagination and attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it crowds all other ideas out of your consciousness. So when we talk about being illogical, it is living in your imagination more than your reality. And by the way, very, very important point. Don't share your dreams and desires with people. Don't share it with your family. Don't share it with people who are not there. Don't share it with people who cannot see you there yet. Don't share it with people who might project their own limitations, because you are at a very, very fragile point. You are just developing this desire, this dream, this want. You are understanding how to use the power of your mind. You haven't rewired your subconscious mind yet. So when you share it to other people and they say a smallest, tiniest thing that suggests, oh, maybe I can't, your subconscious is going to accept that I can't. You should only share your desires and dreams with a coach, a mentor, someone who can seize you there, already achieved your goal, and who can guide you. Don't share it with others. You don't have to, unless you know they can help you. So that was day one. We talked about goals and desires and dreams and the formula, how to write down your goal and repeat it daily. Day two, yesterday, we talked about paradigm, multitude of habits, your belief system. And a big part of this paradigm is your self-image, how you see yourself. Do you know what happens to so many people as kids? They go to school, maybe they don't do well on the second grade or third grade, and they receive some criticism from their parents, from their teacher. They feel like they are lacking something. It affects their confidence, right? As a child, if you were criticized for whatever reason from your parents or your teacher, maybe you've been told that you don't pay attention enough, whatever criticism, if you've been criticized as a child, which is most people have been at some point, you develop a low self-confidence. Maybe during that period of time you were not paying attention, but that didn't mean you're not worthy. That didn't mean you're not enough. But the criticism you received, you internalized it as a kid. You didn't know better. You embodied that criticism and you thought you're not enough. You thought you're less than. And so that idea went into your subconscious mind. So now you're an adult, you're in your 30s, 40s, 70s, 80s, and you still carry that belief, feeling being inferior, not being enough, not being smart enough, not being confident enough, not being worthy enough. You still are carrying that subconscious belief with yourself. There are not many people who've always been praised as a kid, right? And those are the ones that are very, very successful. Majority of people have been criticized, have been told that they are not good enough, they're not smart enough. Why don't they ever pay attention? And this is what needs to change in order for us to tap into our full potential. This is one of the things, one of the limiting beliefs that is in our subconscious. That's one of the little things that we carry with ourselves. That's the self-image. Self-image is the overall idea about that you have about yourself. And we talked about it yesterday that you can never outperform your self-image. Your self-image is like a thermostat that holds you stuck at a certain lifestyle, certain income, certain kind of relationships. And I told you, I know so many people who go invest money in marketing and lead generation and business coaching and everything else. And they feel like that method didn't work and I wasted so much money. It is not that methods don't work. It is that you haven't changed your self-image yet. And if you don't change your self-image, you can never outperform it. Nothing is going to change. How do we know what is our self-image, by the way? Your results in life is a direct reflection of your self-image. You look at your results. Your results are a reflection of what's going on in your mind, in your subconscious programming, in your belief system. And self-image is a big part of that belief system. Remember the secret genie I showed you yesterday? That subconscious mind controls your self-image, controls your perception, controls your logic, controls what you think about yourself, controls your income paradigm. Your subconscious controls your income. It's amazing to see people move countries, change jobs and businesses, and they still earn the same amount of money, more or less. Any questions so far? So I covered the day 1 and day 2, and I highly, highly recommend that you guys go back and watch. Even if you were here live, go back and watch day 1 and day 2. Just because we think we understand something and we listen to something once or twice doesn't mean that we are integrating. So I highly recommend you watch all 3 recordings. The third one will gonna be sent out today, again and again, to learn better. And I'm gonna talk about fear and faith. Let me see your comments first. I love that, Rahul. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. That's very nice of you. I try to be vulnerable and share, and I shared, I got really emotional on day 1 and I started crying because um, if you told me 10 years ago that I would not be stuck in a 9 to 5 job, I would not be stuck with in a cubicle, commuting to work every day and doing something that I was not fulfilled, and I would be doing something that I love, only working few hours a day and traveling whenever I want to wherever I want and having absolute freedom of time, money, and location, I would not believe that. And I didn't have an easy journey. It's it hasn't been easy, but it's been worth it, right? And again, even not long time ago, just maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I had to reprogram one of my belief systems. Speaking of vulnerability, was that English is not my first language. How am I going to be a coach? Who's going to listen to me? We all have these limiting beliefs, right? That was just the paradigm. That was just the programming that was keeping me small. And we all have a lot of those programmings. And I can help you guys to identify your programmings and to change those. And life is much better this way, believe me. Fear and faith. So we talked about successful people. They all experience fear as well. And actually, if you want to know that you're on the right track, you know it by feeling fear, feeling being uncomfortable. That shows that you are doing something outside of comfort zone that always brings success. Before getting into the meaning of the talking more about fear and faith, I want to talk about something that is super, super important that I had to learn, and it was one of my challenges. When I talk about being uncomfortable, by no means I mean hard work. Okay. So this is another paradigm that I had to work on for myself, hard work. I thought the harder I work, the better results I get. And the harder I worked, less results I got, to the point that I was like, okay, God, universe, I don't even know what to do anymore. Like, I cannot work more than that. I cannot put more hours than that. I'm exhausted. I feel burnt out. I am just hating everything in my business. That was in my real estate business. It is not, why the heck is it not working? Hard work alone, this is Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich book. If you think hard work alone will get you results, perish this thought, which is not the case. You need to put in work. I'm not saying you need to just sit on your couch and meditate all day, every day. You need to put in work, but inspired work, work that is in alignment, work that is inspired, not hard work. When I talk about being uncomfortable, that is different from hard work. Being uncomfortable means doing the things that you know you need to do, but you've never done it before, and it is uncomfortable. Just because you've never done it before and you're not used to it, okay? It doesn't mean work 10 hours a day. For example, one uncomfortable work that I highly, highly recommend each and every one of you do, which is going to change your life. If you want a different life in 2026, this is what you need to do. And it might sound like I am selling you, but I'm actually serving you because it is through Thinking into Results program that I can serve you for 9 months, 6 to 9 months. If you want to change your 2026, this is the time. Last quarter of 2025, start joining the program and you're going to pick up, you're going to create such a beautiful momentum that beginning of 2026, you're already ahead of whoever you were this past year and past years. The subconscious reprogramming that I teach you through Bob Proctor's program is the foundation of changing your results and starting living the life of freedom. You cannot miss the foundation. Doesn't matter what else you do. If you do not change the subconscious mind, you might see a little bit of progress. You're going to go back to who you were. You have to work on that self-image, that subconscious programming, that identity. And this is the program that does it. And we need 6 months to at least 6 months together. So it might be uncomfortable. You might get on a Zoom call with me and find out the cost, and you might be uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable action that I recommend you do. Now it's your decision. It's your life. You are the captain of your life. You are the master of your life. You decide. Isn't that beautiful? We have the freedom to decide what we want to do with our life. So if the fear is stopping us from living our fulfilled life, what do we replace the fear with? Can anyone take a guess in the chat? I don't want to be the only one who's talking. Can you take a guess in the chat? If we want to get rid of the fear, and if we know the fear is stopping us, what do we replace it with? You guys are great. Yes. Courage to do the difficult thing and replace it with faith. So I like to use the word faith because it's fear and faith will both start with F, so it's easy for us to remember. Yes, 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 yes. All great comments. So before talking about faith, I see something in the chat and I want to talk about it. Actually, that I didn't talk about. Action. Taking actions. Why does taking action alone cannot change your life? I used to be, as I said, hard worker, taking actions, really being proud of being a hard worker, door knocking in winter in my real estate business, really working hard, taking lots of actions, right? Tony Robbins talk about massive action. I love Tony Robbins, but there are some things like really fundamental things that maybe he's teaching today, but many years ago when I did his program, it was missing. The action, taking action with the wrong set of programming and limiting self-image and limiting paradigm is not going to get you results. That's what is called frustration. The action, give me 1 second. I want to show you the secret genie. Action comes from the body, right? This is the body, this is the mind. This is our five senses here, smell, see, taste, touch, that connect us to the world around us. This is the conscious mind where we gather information, we read books, we go to school, we get a university degree, everything goes to the conscious mind. There is another set of programming in the subconscious mind. All our limiting beliefs, our logic, our perception, our beliefs about life, about ourselves, our self-image, all of our belief system, habitual way of thinking and believing and our self-image is in the subconscious, right? And then we have the body. We take actions with our body, right? Where does action, behavior come from? Which part of the mind? This is such a deep concept, by the way. I am simplifying it for the sake of time, and I want to wrap it up in a few minutes. But just because someone mentioned the word action, I want to make it clear. Yes. So the actions, our behavior, 96% of our behavior is habitual. I'm not making this up. This is science. Around 95, 96% of everything we do every day, isn't that crazy? It's crazy percentage. About 95, 96, 97% of all that we do every day, from the moment we wake up till the moment we go to bed, is habitual. Our habitual behavior come from our subconscious programming, subconscious belief system. I give you an example. I took the action in my real estate business. I knocked on 100 doors every single day, winter and summer. My belief system was that I don't know anything about real estate. I'm not even from this country. There are a lot of other real estate agents who grew up in this city. I am bothering people when I'm knocking on their doors. So we can take all the actions that you want. If you have contradicting, limiting beliefs, and sometimes those beliefs are not even clear, you won't even know some of those beliefs. And then you take all the actions and nothing changes and you get frustrated. Subconscious mind. Everything is about the subconscious mind. Again, neuroscientists studied, researched that 95 to 97% of all of our results, our bank account, the amount of money we make, our relationships, come from our subconscious. That's why people say, oh, I've read Think and Grow Rich and my life didn't change, so this book doesn't work. No, you read it, you gathered information in your conscious mind. You have not yet changed your subconscious mind. That is why your behavior hasn't changed, and therefore your results haven't changed. I hope that was clear. That was a lot of information. And I hope you go back and watch the recording again. So we're going to wrap up soon. I just want to talk about faith. Bob says faith is the ability to see the invisible. And I want you to write it down, please, because this is so beautiful. Whenever you feel doubt, whenever you feel scared, whenever you feel worried, by the way, doubt is the worst enemy to your manifestation. When you doubt, you're sending this energy to the universe that I don't think it is going to happen. And the universe says yes. We live in a yes universe. If you 100% believe it is happening, this universe says yes. But if you 100% believe it is happening today, but tomorrow or next week you have a little bit of doubt, that kills your dream. So what is faith? Write it down and read it every hour of the day. Have it as a reminder on your phone. Ability to see the invisible. What is invisible? Your goal, your dream, your desire. It's not here yet, observable yet, but if you have faith, you will have the ability to see that invisible and to believe in the impossible. You might not believe it is possible for you to live that ultimate level of life that you sometimes think about. But with faith, you have to develop that belief in the impossible. That's how people who have become successful in any walks of life and living a life of freedom, joy, happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction in all areas of life, they have developed an unwavering faith. Faith in the universe, God, faith in you. Ability to see the invisible and believe in the impossible. And with that, we're going to wrap up day 3 of the Freedom Formula. If you decide to join the Thinking into Results, you just need to, or if you just want to know more about it, what is included in this 6 months, in this 9 months. Again, if you decide to register by the end of this Sunday, I'm offering you 9 months of coaching instead of 6 months. If you want to know more about this program, what is included, how much it costs, what do you get, how is it going to change your life, just book your call with me. I put the link to my calendar in the chat box. I put it again. And if you're watching the recording, it is somewhere around that landing page. It says book your call. Book your call with me. There's not much spots left. And let's have a conversation and see if it's a good option for you or not. I appreciate each and every one of you. Is there any last minute questions before we wrap up? You can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Any questions about anything I have shared in these 3 days? Any question about if you're hesitant about something, about your next step, about what to do? Anything. Personally, professionally, you have the time. I'm gonna give you a few more times. And if you don't have any questions, we're gonna wrap up. No questions? You're all good? You know how to live a life of freedom? You know what to do next year, next week, next month? Okay, I'm seeing your comments now. Yes, definitely watch the recordings. You get a lot of value out of it. And book your call. No strings attached, no pressure. We can just have a conversation and see how I can serve you more. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, faith is something that really has helped me in my personal life, in my professional life. Like I have such a beautiful connection with God these days, and it's all because of the hard times that I had in my life, especially in the last couple of years. You're welcome. Thank you for being here and thank you for your time. So, how do we reprogram our subconscious mind? That's a beautiful question, and that's the whole point, right? Um, Bob said there are two ways. So subconscious mind, another word for the subconscious mind is paradigm. Paradigm, multitude of your habits, all your belief system, that is your subconscious mind. How do you change your subconscious mind? Bob said there are only two ways to change your subconscious mind. First is through an emotional impact, like boom, like something dramatic happens to your life. People who experience near death experiences, 9/11, God forbid, a horrible accident, something that shocks your shakes your system and shocks you, an emotional impact. It can be positive, but it is usually negative. Something that like you kind of experience like death and you're like, oh my God, I need to do something different with my life. It changes your whole paradigm. It doesn't happen always. There's some people who go through those emotional impacts, but they still somehow fall back to their old programming. This is one way of changing the paradigm. And he said the second and best way of changing the paradigm is through spaced repetition, constant spaced repetition of new ideas, new set of belief system, constantly repeating new set of belief systems over and over again with the help of a mentor or a coach. Why? Because we all have our own blind spots. We don't see our own blind spots. A coach can see your blind spots. And then with a program, with the Thinking into Results program is one way, is the best way. If you ask me, the best way. I'm someone who used to be in personal development environment for as long as I remember, since I was 18 years old, reading Wayne Dyer books, as I said, and really always being in personal development, reading books, studying, working on myself. And it's fun and it's amazing when you learn these things, but really my life didn't change until I got into coaching, thinking into results coaching. And this is what I teach, and this is Bob's program. This is the best way of changing your subconscious programming. It is a program that is a result of 60 years of Bob and hundreds of years of Bob's mentors' experiences all together in a beautiful container 6 months program that I'm going to coach you. You literally get me and Bob Proctor because it's all his videos, his audios, he's teaching you, he's coaching you, mentoring you to step by step during this 6 to 9 months to change your paradigm. That's why I encourage you to get on a call with me. Can you change your paradigm on your own through repetition? Repetition of new ideas, new set of belief system that you alone on your own gonna install in yourself. Is it possible? Yes, I'm not saying it is not possible, but it is nowhere near in terms of impact, change, and time compared to having a mentor. So when you have a mentor, you're gonna see results faster and bigger. You can work on yourself. It's gonna take years. This is my own experience. I've tried to change for years and years and years, not investing in a mentor because I was scared, right? And really, maybe 10% changed in 10 years. With the help of a mentor, you change 100% in 6 months. That's the power of the thinking into results and the help of a mentor. I hope I answered your question. So through repetition of new ideas and new set of beliefs with different actions. So I teach my clients different things from writing, from recording your voice, mirror work, looking in your eyes, saying affirmations, going to nature, doing different exercises in nature. So there's a lot that I cover. Yes, one book that I highly, highly recommend each and every one of you read is called Psycho-Cybernetics with Maxwell Maltz. Let me put it in the chat. How do you put it? Psycho-Cybernetics. I think this is the right spelling. Psycho-Cybernetics is a book that I have read 10 times and I'm going to keep reading for the rest of my life. It's a very powerful book about self-image. So you want to change your self-image either from being an employee and stuck in an unfulfilling job to being a business owner, an identity of a business owner and being fulfilled. Or if you want to get to a higher level of your career, whatever it is that you're doing, you see yourself there. You have to shift that identity, that self-image. This book is going to help you a lot. I have got to go, guys. Thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence here, being with me, sending you lots of love. Look, for my emails, I'll send you an email later today with the recording of today and all 3 days and the link to my calendar. Book your call with me. Let's get on a call and see how I might be able to serve you more, go deeper, and really make a change in your life. Blessings to you as well. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed day and talk to you soon.